All right, thanks everyone. So yeah, just going through it again, the big stuff that we want to announce this time was the version 2.8 release. So the 2.8 release included some large changes to the code base that I want to highlight. The first is the refactor of the gateway DEX middleware. So we've completely rehauled the whole architecture. Now there are three types of schemas, one for routers, DEX aggregators like Jupyter, Uniswap router. We have an AMM schema for Uniswap V2 pools where you're putting in a constant balance of both asset A and asset B at all times. This is like Uniswap V2 or Raydium standard pools. And then we have a third schema for CLMM, which are concentrated liquidity pools like Raydium CLAM and Meteora DLMM and Uniswap V3. So what that means is one connector like Uniswap actually supports all three of these standards. And so you'll call endpoints like Uniswap/router/swap or Uniswap/AMM/swap. And that way you'll be interacting with one or both, maybe one of those schemas specifically. We've also added commands. So there are commands like gateway swap and gateway LP now, where you can basically do direct trading from Hummingbot. And there are some helper commands like gateway token, gateway pool, and gateway config to help you manage your configurations. This now means that we're ready to upgrade the legacy connectors to the new standard. So currently we have a few bounties as well as pending. Curve and Pancake are currently being worked on. And we have open bounties for Balancer, Orca. And then finally, the other big change we made in version 2.8 was the addition of the Hummingbot MCP server. So for those of you who aren't familiar, MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. And it's a new standard that helps large language models like Claude and Gemini help you use a certain set of tools. So I think this is really perfect for us because with the recently introduced Hummingbot API, now we have a very powerful API that helps you do all types of trading related operations on any exchange that we support. So now you can add your credentials to XRPLiquid, do direct trading through the API, deploy a strategy, do back testing, and also fetch market data. However, because it's so powerful, it can be hard for a new user to interact with this API. And that's where MCP comes in. Because MCP is basically APIs that are designed for AI agents. And so we've created an initial version. And so now you should be able to use it to just talk to the API, ask it to add my credentials, ask it for information on what's required. And it should help you basically use the API with a lot more confidence. If you're interested in how to use it, Fede did a live stream part 1 last Friday. And I think he's going to continue with this Friday with part 2 that explains how to use it. So that's what this video here is. And also this one here, this is a playlist that explains the API itself. If you check out this playlist, this will kind of give you an example of the full power and extent of the API. And this other video here, understand how to use MCP to interact with the API. All right, moving on a bit. We also want to highlight a few reward program innovations that are new. So reward programs are some of the main ways that people run Hummingbot is to earn rewards on different platforms for providing liquidity. The Miner platform, which is our longtime program run by our sister company, CoinAlpha, they've been consistently adding new campaigns over the past few months. 2 of them are Oxygen, where you can provide liquidity to the XGN USDT pair on gate and earn rewards. And the second is WOD. You can earn up to $5,000 over the next 12 weeks for providing liquidity to the WOD USDT pair. We also have XRPLiquid, which is a rewards program dedicated to the XRP blockchain that's operated by our team at Botcamp. Currently, we're distributing 400 XRP in reward pools every week. However, we discovered an issue last week where there was a potential exploit in the system that looks like some users were trying to artificially inflate their volume. That's actually why we did not distribute the Epoch 17 rewards. We've already identified the issue. We think we will resolve it by end of this week, and we will be able to distribute rewards for both Epoch 17 and 18 next week. But overall, we want to expand both these reward programs generally. So if you guys are running something, if an exchange out there has some program where users who run Hummingbot can use it to earn rewards, please let us know and we'll add it to this list. So bounties, as I mentioned, I think bounties will be the main way that we leverage the community to help add different connectors to the system. 3 that are open, 2 that are in progress. This board here is basically the real-time status of all the bounties. If you're interested in picking these bounties up, please add comments on the individual GitHub issues. One note is that for these specific adding DEX connector bounties, one thing we're looking for is either experience contributing to Hummingbot and or experience working on this blockchain's DEXs, because these are very specialized entities. And so overall, if someone doesn't have experience kind of working on DEXs, it'll be hard for us to handhold them through the process. So if you can, please list your experience either contributing to Hummingbot and or contributing to Orca or Solana DEXs if you want to work in Orca. And similarly, for ones like Balancer, we would want to see experience with Balancer or Ethereum-based DEXs specifically. So we always try to track the top issues that people report on GitHub and try to address them. So a few of the issues that our QA team has spotted in the last month, one of them is this MEXD bug issue. This is the one that we've created a bounty and to be assigned for. This is the hedge strategy was an older V1 community created strategy. I think we plan to actually kind of create a V2 version of this in the future, because I think hedging is something that is very natural. Last but not least, I want to just cover the governance results. We use governance in order to help the community decide which exchanges should be in the code base and how much HBOT maintenance bounties are assigned to them. We have 3 different types of exchanges in the code base. One is ClobSex. These are order book-based centralized exchanges. All the SEX connectors pass quorum. 18 of these connectors will be retained in the next epoch. All the Clob DEX connectors also pass quorum. On the gateway DEX side, for AMM DEXs and DEX aggregators, 2 connectors, Carbon and Hydration, do not meet quorum and were removed from the code base. So that's pretty much a quick update for the community call. Apologies for the technical issues. I think a lot of what I said in the first 10 to 20 minutes didn't get fully captured, but I want to make sure I leave some time for questions. How the structure was in the latest release, what's coming on the roadmap. Little Tarzan asks, do you have any advice on where I can hire developers to build adapters, connectors, and market maker support for a new exchange? It's a great question. So the best way currently is to check the Dev MM Wanted channel on our Discord. That's where we encourage both developers to post their requirements and where exchanges post requirements, and hopefully they can match each other. However, we do plan to make this process easier. So one of the things we're adding to the next cohort of Botcamp are profiles, where every person that takes Botcamp cohorts will have a profile that lists their demo strategy, their social links, and it'd be editable by the person. And we hope that in a few months we'll have a directory that we can provide to folks who want to hire developers, can basically show them who has a relevant experience for their needs. So Joshua asks, do we have to install Hummingbot from source to build connectors for the exchange on the bounties, or the Docker version works just fine? No, you will need to install Hummingbot from source to build connectors. I'm assuming you want to add a new connector for yourself. And the reason, because what Docker does is it pre-compiles everything into a single binary, so you can't edit the code. Docker version is really applicable for if you're a user, if you're a trader. However, if you're a developer, you should be able to install source. Frankly, if you can't install from source, you probably shouldn't be building a connector. Building a connector requires you to have some knowledge of Python, incorporate the exchange's API, add unit tests, and make sure it works, and kind of really take on the full responsibility of ensuring that connector works just like any of the connector in the code base. I think we've answered all the questions by the community. One thing I want to note is that we'll try to have this call every month. This call is actually more designed for developers who are interested in kind of contributing to Hummingbot, want to learn what's on the roadmap. If you're just a user, if you're just like a exchange and so forth, you can contact kind of Nikita, our bounties manager, for help with exchange bounty and so forth. We're actually kind of about to formalize a process for exchange to just kind of post a bounty, get someone to build it. In addition, we're going to launch a sponsorship program for exchanges who want to take over the whole process for them. Getting connector built, creating guides for it, getting some support from the foundation. That's why if you look at our website, there are some sponsors that we have like XRPL, DYDX, and so forth. And so we'll be formalizing that program and kind of basically working with other exchanges to get their connector supported. Thanks everyone for your time.